Hey folks, John here, Old Hickory Forge. Welcome back. So, my next show is coming up in about 8 weeks, so a lot of my time out here in the shop is going to be devoted to making show stock, so uploads may be spotty in the future for a little while, but is what it is. But anyway, I was browsing the internet mindlessly the other day. I forget what I was doing, but I ran across this. You see or not, the cold steel Norse hawk. Anyway, I thought that's a pretty cool shape. It's like a little tiny Dane axe, but it looks like it'd be pretty simple to make something pretty similar, so that's what I'm going to do. What I got here for the body of the axe is a 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch mild steel cut off at 9.5 inches. As you know, mild steel is not hardenable. It's not suitable for any kind of edge tool or weapon or anything like that. So I got some 1080 high carbon steel we're going to forge weld into to make the cutting bit. So that's what's going on. Stick around. So, the first thing we want to do is make the bit of the axe, which is going to become the cutting edge. This is our hardenable steel insert that'll be forge welded into the body. I want a cutting edge of about 4 inches, so what I got here, pretty cool little tool. It's a blacksmith's ruler. It's marked off in 1.5 inch increments and such. And it just snaps onto the face of your anvil like that. Let's say I want to mark out 4 inches, I'll find 4 inches. And I'll start my taper, and now I know where to go to get the 4 inches of cutting edge I'm looking for. So the piece that's going to become your cutting edge needs to be tapered down pretty thin, just so it'll fit seamlessly into the body. Obviously when you taper it, it's going to curve the opposite way you actually need it to be curved for an axe bit. So you just got to carefully take it to the horn and bend it the way you need it to go. Dressing it back up every few strikes. Once you got your bit curved about where it needs to go, you just want to go in with a chisel and cut some teeth going alternate directions every 1/2 inch or so. These will help it grab onto the body of the axe when you put it in there. We'll just take this, going to become our bit. Give it a good brushing. Just go ahead and throw some flux on there. That'll keep the metal from scaling up, so when it comes time to use it, it'll be good and ready to go. I'm going to wait for this to cool, and then I'll go through with a grinder and remove it from the parent bar. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start working on the body. First thing we got to do, I got center punch marks 3.5 inches from each end of the bar. We're going to mark those out with the edge of the anvil to define a central area. And that central area will be what we spray out to make the eye of the axe. So, see what we got going? We got those 2 marks. And now we'll just thin down the material using the round die in between those 2 marks. The reason I'm thinning this material down is so that when I bend it around to make the eye, it'll bend where I want it to bend. Also because if you look at historical examples of axes, the metal was the thinnest in the eye. Just because I guess they wanted more material to make the blade. And I've also found that if your eye is too thick, you end up with a weird balance kind of in the axe. It makes it hard to throw. It doesn't feel right. So you want to thin down the area that's going to be your eye. Then all you do is take the tip of the body, brush off the inside real good, just like we did with the bit. Make sure you get all the scale off. And just flux it up real good, just like you did your bit. You're not going to worry about fluxing where the eye is. You only want to flux the areas that are going to be welded. But once you got them fluxed up real good, you can start bending this thing around. So, first welding heat, staying back near the eye. There we go. Rush it, flux it back in the fire. Alright, second weld back to the eye. A little more authority this time. As you can see, I've forge welded all the way up to about 1.5 inches or so from the ends. The next thing we're going to do is take the cross beam of the hammer and spread all this out widthwise to start getting the shape we're looking for. The idea is that if you forge these down together, they will move together, but since they're not welded, come when they're down where they need to be, you can open them back up with the chisel to put your inserts in. That's the theory anyway, so that's what's going on now. It's time to spread this out to make the shape we're looking for. I'm taking care to work below a welding heat, so the ends that I want to keep unwelded don't accidentally weld together. Just keep spreading it out, like I said, working at a pretty low heat, taking care not to weld those ends together until you get the width you're looking for. We're getting pretty close. I actually cut off about an inch of material from the end because there was just too much there. But we're getting where we need to go. So now, if my plan worked, which it looks like it did, what I should be able to do is just go in here with a chisel and open up that area we didn't weld. And I'd say that worked like a charm. Get this thing brushed nice and clean. There's some flux in there. So now what I should be able to do is stick this thing back in here. Just ever so carefully install my bit. And then we'll weld all that up and we'll have an axe. Well, here we go. Just a few quick blows, brush it, flux it back in the fire. All right, second weld, here we go. All right, the welds seem to have taken really well, so all I'm doing here is just laying in some edge bevels on the outside edge of our carbon steel insert, just to get a little more width on the cutting edge of the finished axe. But other than that, it's moving right along. All right. Next thing we're gonna do is get this eye drift into shape. The drift is the tool that's gonna allow the eye to accept a standard tomahawk handle. A bit tricky to do. We'll just go once from or a couple times from the bottom, a couple times from the top. Should get us where we need to go. It's a weird shape. Drift because the axe is so much wider up front than it is at the back. So here's where we're at after drifting the eye to shape. As you can see, the eye stretched and the weld didn't split, so we know we got a good weld in there. All that's left now is just normalize this thing 3 times and get to grinding. So got the profile I want to make marked out. Let's hit the grinder. Got a good sharp 36 grit belt on here. There's not a whole lot of work to do. There's maybe 20 minutes of grinding here, so let's get on it. So here's where we're after the rough grind. Got the cutting bevel roughed in. As you can see, all the forge welds took beautifully. No gaps, no seams. Now let's heat and treat, temper this baby, and get it sharp, and we'll be good to go. Going in for the quench. Just doing the edge like I always do with axes because I'm going to draw temper. So I'll let it cool off a good bit. Clean off some of the scale so I can watch the colors run. From back here where we still got red in the body, you'll see the colors like the brown and the blue creep forward, and we're trying to get a light straw on the edge. So it's the next day, getting another chance to work on the axe. Here we are after the temper. You see we got a nice straw brown on the edge, so it should hold an edge pretty well. All that's left now is just to finish grind this cutting edge, take it up the grits, and get it sharp. So I've gone ahead and moved up to 120 grit belt. I'm just going to refine my bevel and then move to the slack of the belt. Get it sharp. Probably take it up to 320, 400. Should give me a nice serviceable edge. So the head's pretty much done. It's good and sharp as you just saw. All I'm going to do now is do a little bit of file work down here on the part of the handle that I'm going to be holding on to. I just think it might look kind of cool, so I've got the pattern I want to make marked out. I'm just going to go through with a round file until I think it looks good. Nothing to it really. Now I'll just do a little creative burning to the handle. So now I'll just give it some oil. That'll protect the wood and help pretty it up some. Now it's time to install the head. It's pretty simple. The drift you use is tapered, and you know, the tomahawk handles create a friction fit. So the handle just slides on. You can take you a mallet or a dead blow hammer. Strike from this end. That seats the head on there rock solid. It's kind of like a pickaxe. You know, it can't go up the handle any further, and every time you swing it, it tries to go up further, so it stays on good without a wedge or anything. Now I'll just trim off this excess, and we're good to go. Alrighty, see how this thing chops. Surprisingly powerful for something so light. So there you go, one Norse style tomahawk made of mild steel with a 1080 cutting bit. Nice and thin, so be a good fighting axe. Makes it a little tricky to throw because it's so light, it's very easy to overspin. But it held up well. None of the forge welds are coming loose. As you can see, they're good and seamless. Head's good and straight, good and centered. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. If you like what you saw, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Always gonna be more cool stuff coming. I think the next build is probably gonna be a Viking shield. A lot of people have been requesting that. After that, I think I might do a Roman gladius. Haven't decided yet. But if you got any other suggestions for projects you want to see, drop them in the comments below. Y'all take care.